Hi everyone, Stu from UK Beeman, and I'd just like to put out straight away a big thank you to everyone that has hit that subscribe button recently, and also for those that have been following me for the past year. I'm going to be talking to you about why I got into beekeeping, and if you're looking at starting beekeeping, what are the first sort of steps. So I got into beekeeping through my father. My dad has a few hives on a museum in Cardiff, the National Museum. He invited me up to come and have a look at his hives, and I was very nervous. At this stage I already ordered a nuke box, my first ever one, and I had no idea what I was doing, where to start, what is beekeeping. I just thought it was pick some frames up and have a look at bees. I didn't realize how much stuff was in there. But as I say to anyone that I mentor these days, it all comes. You've got to do your homework, you've got to read, you've got to become familiar with things, but don't take it all in one go and just think, I need to know right now what I am doing, and I need to know everything right now, because no offense, you will never know everything. The bees teach us, and we pick up a lot of theory through the way and whatnot, but bees teach us. Tip number one, you got to make sure you get a mentor. If you don't get a mentor, make sure that you watch very thorough and knowledgeable people. Be mindful, because every beekeeper does things differently. Yeah, we try and follow a standard, but a standard is not a set rule or law. It is just something that we try and follow. Everyone does everything differently. Everyone's got their own take on things. If someone says something differently, think, does it work? Would it work for me? Would it benefit me? Or do I like the way that I'm currently doing it because it has no adverse effects? If that's the case, follow your standard. If not, feel free to go and try another standard. That's just how it works. That should be life anyway. So I got up there on this roof and I was like, oh my God, Dad, this is frightening. I am petrified. I can hear your bees. I can see your bees. I like the idea of bees, but they do scare me. And I was like, oh my God. So I stuck my suit on, which in my last video, I do apologize, that was very dirty. It is going in for a wash. It is ready right by here to go into the wash. Yes, this video by here. Very dirty, dirty suit. Keep your stuff clean. That'll be one of the tips in this. I'm like, keep your stuff clean. Anyway, so I went up there. I looked at the hives and I was like, oh my God, this is scary. What have I done? This is frightening. And it was fine. Once you got over the stage of the overwhelming noise of being surrounded by bees. And after that, I went home and I thought, God, what have I done? Why am I doing this? That was scary. That was unpleasant. And then I got my own bees, and they were from the same breeder actually. But they were so pleasant, so wonderful, and definitely a different set of buckfast bees. And I learned through that. So I had one hive, it saw me through. I bought a second nuke then for the next year. I had two hives, and then I bought another one, some Welsh black bees, which are more notorious for being a little bit more sort of native and mad. And they were fine. They were really, really good. And then before you knew it, I've got 5 hives, 4 nukes, which are all sold to help obviously go and help raise things. I've got a pile of summer nukes to make now as well. Not only am I going to do that, I've also got an apiary, or 2 apiaries we're setting up now in the summer, which I'll be raising my own from. I won't be buying any more nukes anymore because I had to go at rearing my own stuff last year and I really enjoyed it. So these are things that you get to look forward to. Tip number 2 would be go on a beekeeping course. Make sure you get that experience first. If you think I've got an interest in it, go on a beekeeping course. People like Gwennon Griffith, I think I said it right. Griff is, definitely a superb beekeeper. He's got a wonderful channel, links down below. You probably heard of him before anyway, because he's you know, massively, you know, out there with the YouTube world. He does beekeeping courses, extremely thorough. You know, you've got a real strong support network through going through his program. Many other local beekeepers will do that. If you sign up to a beekeeping association, they'll definitely point you in the right direction of maybe a local beekeeper you can go and mentor with, or you can go and see with. And then you've got your taster. If you like that and you think, God, I really enjoyed that, be prepared. Tip number 3, beekeeping is not cheap. Right, you can do it on a budget, but it's still not cheap. Getting yourself set up, yeah, you can go and get some freebies. Do you get it? Freebies. Swarms. You can catch a swarm. I've got videos on catching swarms. Check them out. I'm so excited for this year to go and get some more, especially having the extra 2 apiaries now to set up, or priories, whatever they're called. I'm going to call them apiaries because it flows nicer. And I'll be able to have my own sort of quarantine zone then, which is another thing that you should definitely look into when you're doing it, because it is very important to be able to separate these bees that you've got from all your other colonies, because bees pass diseases like STIs. Sorry to put it out there, but they spread, man. You know, I think we live in a world now that we've realized in a pandemic that things spread, coronavirus. So it's just like that with the bees. You got to find out, you know, what things are what, foul brood, European foul brood, American foul brood, which obviously we're not going to get here, nosema, and things like that, you know, so you just got to be extra careful with that. And there's so many other things that you can, you know, be mindful of. Varroa is a massive one. Did a video recently on that one, on how to treat it. You're not going to get rid of Varroa. It's there, it's in every hive, you know, it's how you manage it, it's how you mitigate it, and yeah, do your mite counts, because that helps. In your location, are you going to do it in your garden? Is it big enough? Are your neighbours going to be happy? Are they going to cause potential issues? Are you fully aware of the distance that bees can go? Are you in an urban area? Are you in a rural area? If you are, what's your local forage like, you know? So things like that start weighing up. For me, I have got fields and fields and fields and fields of just wild forage, you know, and it works well. I get some really tasty honey from it. I didn't weigh that up when I had bees here. I thought, yeah, that's a good location over there, that'll do. But it's just a case of making sure that you are prepared for these things, because there's no point in getting bees in your garden if you're in the middle of a city and you've got no forage. That being said, some of the best honey comes from urban cities. London makes phenomenal honey. Birmingham has got some good honey. So it is possible, but just make sure you are aware. And I do speak to a lot of people in London at my place of work where they say, oh, I could stick it on my balcony, you know, and yeah, it would work, you know, especially if you've got some nice big green parks around you. If you're in Surrey area and whatnot, that's fantastic, go for it. But just weigh that sort of side of things up. So you chose your location. Nice sunny spot's good. We don't really suffer in the UK with worrying about heat on the highs. We don't really get a long enough summer for it. As you can see, a little cold in my shed. I've got no heating in here. So with that being said, you know, it's definitely a thing that just make sure you're in a good spot, nice sunny location. I find where I pop mine in the winter, if it's a nice warm day sort of, or spring, sort of about 13 degrees, the sun's on the fence but it's not on the hives, and it doesn't encourage them to come out until later. Whereas if they were out in the sun a little bit more directly, they'd come out earlier. Kind of stood there going, nice, come out to pay, go on, off you go. No, you're not going. All right, so that's definitely a hindrance for me. So when I weigh up my apiaries now that I'm setting up, that's something that I'll take into account. So now you've got everything. You've got a very trustworthy breeder that you've bought a box of bees from, or you've got your swarm, and you're happy with everything. Then your beekeeping course is now paid off, because now you know what you're doing when you're setting up your first hive. If you are not too sure, there's plenty of videos out there, just literally how to set up a hive, how to install bees, anything like that, you know. On my channel you can definitely see me putting in new boxes of bees. You can see me making splits are where we take some frames away and either introduce a caged queen, or we make sure that there's cells on there and that they'll raise their own queen. So now you got that set up, you got your bees in, you're happy. Now this is where it starts learning. It's like driving lessons. When you're driving, everything literally comes to you afterwards. You get taught the basics, but the real learning comes afterwards. So now it's a case of always learning. So this doesn't look right. Join a Facebook group, join a social media platform where people are supporting each other. Bit of advice: when you do that, people can be, well, it's the internet, trolly. So take it with a pinch of salt. If someone's being an idiot, move along. Don't even react to them, it's not worth it. And then just take your advice from, you know, what you think is worth it and what's not. So many other methods. I mean, literally going back to what I said, there's so many methods out there. Me and my dad can talk all night about bees, and then we've got different intakes and outlooks on certain things, and one might work better, or they both work in the same way. It's just a case of learning with each other. So that's imperative. And then that's it, pretty much. Make sure you get yourselves comfortable, happy, familiar with the bees, and just enjoy it. It is the best thing I've ever done. It is so addictive. One hive quickly become, you know, 5 hives, and I can say by the end of this year I'm a bit worried that it maybe even hit 20 hives. Next year might hit 40 hives, and it just goes on and on and on. My goal is, I have no goal. I'm happy with what's going on and seeing where it does go. Different type of video today. I'm not sure what you thought of it. That was just my rambling on about my top tips for starting beekeeping, how I got into beekeeping, and I always learn constantly, you know, and I really think it's really important that we do watch other people and we learn from other people, and I'm really driving that forward, that you just don't take things offensively, you know. You're either right or you're right, or you're terribly wrong. Either way, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. Don't worry, I won't be boring you with more of these sort of things. I will do more of these when the shed looks a little bit better. But until then, thank you very much for following me. Thank you for all your support. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Boom.
Thank you.